Section 14 of the Book of Halloween by Ruth Edna Kelly Chapter 14 More Hallowtide Beliefs and Customs Only the Celts and the Teutons celebrate an occasion actually like our Hallowe'en. The countries of southern Europe make of it a religious vigil like that already described in France. In Italy, on the night of All Souls, the spirits of the dead are thought to be abroad, as in Brittany. They may mingle with living people, and not be remarked. The Miserere is heard in all the cities. As the people pass dressed in black, bells are rung on street corners to remind them to pray for the souls of the dead. In Naples, the skeletons in the funeral vaults are dressed up, and the place visited on All Souls' Day. In Salerno, before the people go to the all-night service at church, they set out a banquet for the dead. If any food is left in the morning, evil is in store for the house. "Hark! hark to the wind! 'Tis the night," they say, "when all souls come back from the far away; the dead forgotten this many a day, and the dead remembered, aye, long and well; and the little children whose spirits dwell in God's green garden of asphodel. Have you reached the country of all content, O souls we know since the day you went From this time-worn world where your years were spent? Would you come back to the sun and the rain, the sweetness, the strife, the thing we call pain, and then unravel life's tangle again? I lean to the dark hush! Was it a sigh? Or the painted vine leaves that rustled by? Or only a night bird's echoing cry?" Sherd, Hallowe'en. In Malta, bells are rung, and prayers said, and mourning worn on All Souls' Day. Graves are decorated, and the inscriptions on tombs read and re-read. For the poor is prepared an All Souls' dinner, as cakes are given to the poor in England and Wales. The custom of decorating graves with flowers and offering flowers to the dead comes from the crowning of the dead by the ancients with short-lived blooms, to signify the brevity of life. In Spain, at dark on Hallowe'en, cakes and nuts are laid on graves to bribe the spirits not to disturb the vigils of the saints. In Germany, the graves of the dead are decorated with flowers and lights, on the 1st and 2nd of November. To drive away ghosts from a church, a key or wand must be struck 3 times against a bier. An All Souls' divination in Germany is a girl's going out and asking the first young man she meets his name. Her husband's will be like it. If she walks thrice about a church and makes a wish, she will see it fulfilled. Belgian children build shrines in front of their homes with figures of the Madonna and candles, and beg for money to buy cakes. As many cakes as one eats, so many souls he frees from purgatory. The races of northern Europe believed that the dead returned, and were grieved at the lamentations of their living relatives. The same belief was found in Brittany, and among the American Indians. "Think of this, O Hiawatha! Speak of it to all the people, that henceforward and forever they no more with lamentations sadden souls of the departed on the islands of the blessed." Longfellow, Hiawatha. The Chinese fear the dead and the dragons of the air. They devote the first 3 weeks of April to visiting the graves of their ancestors and laying baskets of offerings on them. The great dragon, Feng Shin, flies scattering blessings upon the houses. His path is straight unless he meets with some building. Then he turns aside, and the owner of the too lofty edifice misses the blessing. At Nikko, Japan, where there are many shrines to the spirits of the dead, masques are held to entertain the ghosts who return on Midsummer Day. Every street is lined with lighted lanterns, and the spirits are sent back to the other world in straw boats lit with lanterns, and floated down the river. To see ghosts in Japan one must put 100 rushlights into a large lantern, and repeat 100 lines of poetry, taking 1 light out at the end of each line, or go out into the dark with 1 light and blow it out. Ghosts are identified with witches. They come back especially on moonlit nights. On moonlight nights, when the coast wind whispers in the branches of the tree, O Matsu and Tioyo may sometimes be seen, with bamboo rakes in their hands, gathering together the needles of the fir. Rinder, Great Fir Tree of Takasago. There is a Chinese saying that a mirror is the soul of a woman. A pretty story is told of a girl whose mother, before she died, gave her a mirror, saying, "Now, after I am dead, if you think longingly of me, take out the thing that you will find inside this box, and look at it. When you do so, my spirit will meet yours, and you will be comforted." When she was lonely, or her stepmother was harsh with her, the girl went to her room and looked earnestly into the mirror. She saw there only her own face, but it was so much like her mother's that she believed it was hers indeed, and was consoled. When the stepmother learned what it was her daughter cherished so closely, her heart softened toward the lonely girl, and her life was made easier. By the Arabs spirits were called Djinns or genii. They came from fire, and looked like men or beasts. They might be good or evil, beautiful or horrible, and could disappear from mortal sight at will. Nights when they went abroad, it behooved men to stay under cover. "Ha! they are on us, close without! Shut tight the shelter where we lie! With hideous din the monster rout, Dragon and vampire fill the sky." Hugo, The Djinns. End of Project Gutenberg read by Professor Heather and By. For more free audiobooks or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org.